about the half-cent sales taxes. When we did the referendum, I was not involved in politics at all, but I was a citizen, and I do remember very clearly being sold to us as a half-cent sales tax for the school. I realize that it's not by law something that you have to do, but that is the way that it was sold to the citizens, that the schools were gonna get all of that half-cent sales tax. I know this year we've increased it to $286,000, but my question is, how much of that half-cent sales tax is actually going to the schools?
Have BMP look at that. Well, time out, it's not
None of
going,
the sales-
none of
none
it's
of the
going to
sales
the sales
tax
tax.
is going to school.
That's not the question. And first, and secondly.
The half-cent sales tax is not going to the school? That's what, but that's why we.
No. Stay with me. First of all, there was not a sales job on half-cent sales tax to the residents to support education. We presented a number of resolutions and a number of referendums that went to the board. We had communication pieces that went out from the city that very clearly said, this half-cent sales tax is, we can do a half-cent sales tax. It was never dictated that it would go to the school system. The law states that if the city is going to have a local school system, it must provide what 15 cents on the property tax rate would generate. That's the requirement. We didn't have $2 million floating around. So at any point in time, the city, in terms of raising additional revenue, could say, oh, where could that come from? What we chose to do, and I believe what every other municipality in the state and the county did, was to say, aha, we haven't hit the limit on the sales tax. We can go up half percent on the sales tax, which is exactly the way the referendum was written. The referendum that people won't and went to vote, and it's clear in black and white. It says, do you support raising a half-cent sales tax for the city of Germantown? Nowhere, absolutely nowhere in that referendum does it say that that amount will be dedicated for schools. This provided additional revenues, but again, it was never dedicated for schools or for public education. We are absolutely meeting our maintenance and operation responsibility and obligation. As a matter of fact, we go above and beyond that. When you look at probably another $400,000, it may not be quite that much, with what we provide for school resource officers.
Well, $355,000
for that. So I know that gets brought up and it's confusing, but it's not accurate. It is absolutely not accurate.
Is it not 1/4%? Because it was 9.5%, went to 9.75%. And the maximum is 9.75%.
2.75 is what it is, and it went up a half cent.
Overall, it's 9.75%.
Is that the total amount?
Correct.
But our portion went up a half percent. Yes.
We had a choice as aldermen of raising the property tax 15 cents, or trying to fund it another way. And that's what we did. It's simple.
I don't want to interrupt you, but in terms of funding, it was to provide the additional
And we
revenue
were
for us
to
to
be able to
meet our
afford
maintenance
the
and debt.
15 cents, to match the 15.
And
if we had a shortage, we still had to do the MOA.
if we had $2.5 million floating around, and we had that every year, we wouldn't have raised the half-cent sales tax. We would have said we're meeting our maintenance and effort obligation. That was a revenue option available for us to provide additional
I get it.
dollars.
And we're doing the minimum at this point, it's minimum of effort based on the 5
I would argue.
Okay.
I would argue with you.
We're
doing
not
the
required to
bond.
pay the $355.
We do about $2
Thousand.
million a year of additional support, approximately.
And I'm not saying we're doing anything wrong. I'm just saying that I'm getting these questions from our citizens as to why we're doing this. And they're saying that there's this half-cent sales tax out there, and the schools are only getting a small, not the full percentage of it, okay? They want to know, why aren't we getting a larger percentage of that half-cent sales tax to the school? And there may very well be a logical explanation for it. I'm not saying that y'all have done anything wrong prior to me coming on. I'm just saying, these are the questions that I'm getting from the citizens.
Alderman Massey, in terms of an answer back to those folks, I think I've given you the ammunition. You need to be able to respond to that. I'll be more than happy to put it in writing, and you can put that out there in any format you would like to, but that's the truth.
Okay, well, thank you.
I will.